LSPD Restructure? What the flipper, Haley? Within this restructure, open positions currently available within the department. These positions are likely to be filled within a few weeks. Blah 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 blah. Viv is ass chief, Haley? What happened to you, Haley?
Well, more importantly, what about Peach?
Oh my god, what about me? Let's see. Bean, Opal, King, Carney, Brandi. It's all the same people. And Key, Oxby, Crystal, Ruby. Ruby got demoted? Dick, Gregory, Moss, Davenport. Damn, Davenport's higher ranked than Maple now?
You know he's pissed.
What? That's crazy. I wasn't insinuating that. Haley.
What?
Oh my god. Jeez. I don't see a lot of change here. What are you talking about, Haley?
Yeah, you're right. There's not. I mean, the only changes are really me and Ruby. And you, Peach, you're just...
Oh my god, yay! Where's my name on the list? It's gotta be a mistake, Haley. It has to be a mistake. Oh my god. What am I gonna do, Haley?
Yeah, you're out, Peach. Even Crystal got to keep Sergeant at least.
Oh my god,
It looks like they made extra space for all their people.
My
they didn't even give you that extra space.
Listen, I don't know if you're still in your I just want to be a little guy stage, but to make a long story short, I want you as my assistant chief of police. I will not force anyone into any role. If it is something that you are not interested in, it not being a position that, again, you're not interested, let me know. I will try my best to find someone else, but you were my first choice.
Okay, so I was in a little guy era for a very good reason. And I think I'm just going to explain it. I did not want responsibility in the police department as it was standing, or is currently standing.
You and I both.
So I was very happy being my little guy because I didn't have to worry about that shit because I just got to watch it basically crumble a little bit and not get blamed for shit for once. Although I probably still shouldered some of the blame, I'm just not aware of it. I would be willing to accept your offer as long as there is, in my opinion, enough of a change. Because I firmly believe, as someone who's been LSPD for a long time, I know I switched to BCSO for a few months. Things are basically the same from when I was lieutenant in the LSPD the first time round. The only exception really is that King is lieutenant now. Everyone kind of stayed in the same position, so I would like to see change.
I'll give you my sort of mental structure of high command. It would be me as chief, you as ass chief, and we would be going back to a captain per shift, just one. That would be Bean for shift 1. It would be Key for shift 2. Obviously, Bean's already a captain. Key is currently a lieutenant, would be a captain. And then Davenport for shift 3. Davenport's currently a sergeant. I did have mental thoughts regarding lieutenants, but I'm not too pressed regarding them. But for shift 1, it would be King and Maxwell. For shift 2, it would be Ruby and Oxby. And then for shift 3, it would be Maple, which is his current position. A lot of those people currently hold sort of high-ranking positions now, but the reality is most of them are pretty damn competent at their job, and a lot of them currently hold, or at least a good portion hold, high command positions as it currently stands. That being Ruby, Oxby, Maxwell. I'm not at all looking to meddle with sergeants. I feel like the new lieutenants of their shift can sort that out if they deem that necessary. Obviously, there will be, again, some gaps in where people used to be, like specifically Key being moved to captain, but both Ruby and Oxby being moved down. Unfortunately, people are going to perceive these as demotions because technically they are, but it's not you're being demoted because of some terrible work you've done as much as it is we are way too top heavy at the moment. And I don't think it's to the benefit of the PD.
So I've been demoted a fair amount, right? And yeah, it kind of sucks at first, but you just get on with it. It's your job, right? And if you continue doing the same thing as you're doing, you end up eventually being placed back there. With those suggestions, I don't have anything like against anyone being in those positions, but I kind of do want to see newer people sort of try and step up at least. So I get what you're doing, and you said like there was 2 for shift 1 and 2, right, lieutenants wise, and then 1 for shift 3.
Yes.
I get that. I get that structure. But I kind of want to see in both shift 1 and shift 2 someone who hasn't been in that position kind of step up. Like I'm still in complete disbelief
Do you
that
have
Opal,
suggestions?
Yeah, Opal is still where she is since I left to go to BCSO. She was sergeant when I was lieutenant the first time round. And I'm still shocked that she hasn't been moved up in any capacity. Like, she does so much for the police department on the field, but then also behind the scenes, like the training, courts, everything. She's come such a long way that I do honestly feel she gets overlooked massively. She definitely deserves a lot more recognition for what she does.
Fair enough. So I guess the next question is, I don't think we should go the route of 3 lieutenants. If we don't, what is your idea regarding lieutenants for 1?
I feel as though the LSPD has become incredibly stale, and I feel like that's where things have sort of like fallen through the cracks. I guess people have got too comfortable where they are. I'm tired of sitting in meetings where yet another problem is brought up, and these are shift meetings, and then we end up with, I don't know, a member of command and then ultimately a member of high command on the podium telling us, don't ever do that again, we're going to be cracking down on it. And then people are just sitting there going, oh, what can you do? They don't actually do anything. And I feel like people have got way too comfy. I've watched people be hired on, make mistakes over and over again, it be passed up the chain and nothing ever acted on. And I also know that from previous experience where I had to act on things because other people couldn't because of personal relationships. I honestly feel like there needs to be a little bit more of a change rather than just like a small shuffle like that.
Okay.
I'm not saying that we need to redo everything, but like, personally, I kind of want to see, like, with lieutenants, I agree with the 2 spots for shift 1 and 2. If we kind of filled one of those now, it gives sergeants something to work towards, right? Then the captain has more of a say in picking the second one as well.
I'm not opposed to that. So specifically regarding King for shift 1, and this would apply to Oxby too, just their general sort of leadership. I actually think both are more than capable of the actual captain position, but obviously we're just holding a single captain. So next best thing being lieutenant, being around daily, leading situations and whatnot, and dealing with problems without much issue. And then the second choice, and this applies to both Maxwell and Ruby, is that both have prior high command experience, lots of general command experience, know sort of all the inner workings, and can sort of be that point of contact for situations like that. So that was my justification behind each of those lieutenants. I'm not at all opposed to selecting one, keeping one open. I don't know what the effect of not having everything sort of solidified at the beginning will be. Might be to the benefit of the PD. People might step up, though I would probably want a turnaround time of that lieutenant being selected fairly quick, like a week or 2 from whenever we push things. My only fear, and realistically, people who care about the position aren't going to have too much of an issue, because if you've been prior command or high command, you still carry a level of experience and respect that you have earned as a result. So it doesn't matter if you end up just being an officer or a senior. You still have your voice, right? You still have that, that like you were in command before. I'm not going to say a commanding tone, but like, again, it's something that they have earned as having. I'm sure people have approached you asking stuff just based upon the fact that you were previously in command.
Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I've done the whole thing basically, all the way up and then back down again. So I get it. Like, I think some people are definitely going to feel like their noses have been put out of place, but it's not like people are then just automatically treated awfully or not even consulted on things. People will still get consulted on things. I genuinely feel like we're at that point within the police department where people are holding on to ranks for titles and not really doing much with it.
I agree.
I feel like I just haven't seen any movement or improvement or growth in LSPD since summer last year, really.
Question. So of the lieutenants, if we were to select one from the very beginning, who would it be for shift 1 and shift 2? Shift 3 is not really, I'm going to be honest, not really up for discussion. There aren't really that many people who likely even want the position, truthfully. And Maple and Davenport have done a solid job.
Okay, well, looking at it now, I really want to see Opal. I don't know if Opal's refused it, if there's a reason why she's never been promoted, but holy shit, that woman does so much. I think she'd be perfect for it. I really want to see her in a lieutenant position.
Okay.
So I think for like shift 1, my pick would be Opal, and then it comes
as
down
like
to
the starting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The shift 2, I'm gonna struggle with a little bit because I don't know who's here like regularly. You know.
Do you have much overlap with shift 2?
So I tend to go off duty when I think the general majority believe that shift 2 starts, which is still technically shift 1. I don't really have a problem with staying up to overlap with shift 2, because it's not too like I can shift my shift start time, if that makes sense. Because I did that back when I was under sheriff.
Realistically, it shouldn't be an issue, but my only fear is, and this is going to sound real dumb when I say this, relieving someone of their current responsibility, knowing full well we want them back, and seeing how that goes. I don't know if there's another way to explain that, because...
No, I get it.
To elaborate, I saw that happen to Lucas and Sky, and that was the last straw on the camel's back for both of them. And they essentially perceived it as like, I no longer have this responsibility, and I don't want it anymore for an extended period of time. So I don't know how we should address that, because again, we would be putting King, Maxwell, either Ruby or Oxby, unless there's potentially even a follow-up name that you have for shift 2, down to either senior or officer, and seeing how that goes.
I feel like when you've been in command or high command positions for X amount of time, sometimes you need that refresher, and I definitely look at things differently now. Like, I've learned a lot from my experiences and gone away and sort of ruminated on it.
Where do we stand with the shift 2 stuff? So for context, he is currently lieutenant. He'd be captain. Ruby, who's currently commander. There's Oxby, who's currently captain. And then there are 3 sergeants, that being Gravy, Moss, and Deke. I don't have much an issue with any of them, realistically. But if we need to pick a starting one, Go ahead.
For shift 2, it's slightly different because of like the consistency and stuff. I think Deke is very new to command still. I definitely think he could work his way up there though. For lieutenants, I would maybe start with Oxby. I don't want anyone seeing it as a slight, but like if nobody else is stepping up, it gives Ruby a chance to sort of sit back a little bit if she should want to, or if not, she continues doing what she's doing and she ends up back in that position anyway. But like, I'm of the firm belief that people deserve their chance or their shot at positions, and I fear that if we just keep putting the same people there, we're never going to get to see other people potentially shine with it. And it's still just going to feel the same as it was before.
Got it. Okay. The other thing is I'm not following through with any of this until I speak with everyone who's going to be affected in some way, shape, or form. Like, we just want change.
Yeah, it's
just to see whether or not that helps with the LSPD. And like, it's not a dig towards any of the people who are no longer going to be in their prior position, as much as it is us just trying to throw new life into this machine and see how it goes. It might not work. We might end up realistically right back where we are, where it's, mostly the same people. But at the end of the day, it's not any one person did something over the other. We just want people to put their best foot forward and not harp on whether or not they lost a position. I definitely will be pushing for certain changes. So, for example, Brandi, I think, is more than capable and has certainly earned her spot.
Yeah, I'd love to see that.
I definitely
great.
think that she should be a sergeant.
Yeah.
However, these are also going to be conversations that I want to have with Bean and whoever we end up choosing in those positions. If we move Opal up, that does free up a sergeant position, but both Peach and King would be moved down at minimum on a temporary basis, at least for King. But in addition to that, I had a conversation with Nikki last night. She had expressed interest in dropping from sergeant.
Okay.
She felt as though she doesn't have the drive. So that would leave us quite literally with a single sergeant, unless we move King down to sergeant, at least on that temporary basis, Brandi up, and then we'd be at 3?
What would,
Nikki gone, Opal up. That leaves Erin. Upon conversation with Bean, it'd be Erin, King, Brandi. So we'd be back up to 3. Maxwell as well. Actually, I do think we put Maxwell at Sergeant 2. I briefly spoke with Brian and Frost, but I would be pushing during this time for transfers being suspended on a temporary basis. That might be for a couple weeks, could be a month, just to allow people to settle in to the new positions and not immediately jump ship without giving it an opportunity. I also am going to be pushing for us not accepting, and hopefully BCSO and marshals be on board, taking transfers of individuals who have recently been issued some kind of either DAPS, a suspension, or having been fired. Because I think the idea of people skirting consequence by transferring departments is stupid, and it shouldn't happen.
So okay, there's obviously been a lot of like information and misinformation going around, so I just wanted to get it from you about my future in the LSPD, what kind of position you want me in, and all that kind of stuff.
Obviously, we have very much so been floating the idea of a restructure, primarily regarding the sort of top of PD. As it currently stands...
Demote!
Okay.
Demotion!
Let me find that.
Demotion!
Report somewhere here.
Demotion!
Do you specifically want to know just how Shift 1 is currently being shaped? Or
I mean, if you got all of it, I'm down.
I have most. Full disclosure, I am going to be going with Viv as Ass Chief.
Excellent choice.
That is a good choice. In saying that, originally, prior to having a conversation with Viv, I had both captains for all shifts and 2 lieutenants for each shift selected. So specifically for Shift 1, my original, prior to speaking with Viv, was Bean as captain.
Yeah.
And then you and Maxwell as lieutenants. However, to be clear, this is not me throwing Viv under the bus in any way, shape, or form. Just explaining the thought process here. She proposed Opal as a lieutenant and keeping the 2nd lieutenant position open for essentially anyone to go for at that point. Now, obviously, this sort of presents a bit of an issue because we're only going with 2 lieutenant spots.
So what's he going to? This is the question.
Obviously, your current position.
Yep.
This would push you down to sergeant. However, that does not in any way, shape, or form mean that like much realistically changes for you. The possibility certainly exists that you end up at lieutenant a week or 2 after. But the reason we wanted to do this was, again, to keep a lieutenant position open.
A week,
and have people either express interest in wanting the position or just working towards the position, doing what they would otherwise normally do. If I'm being real, I think I wouldn't be surprised if a week after everything is put into effect, you are a lieutenant. Just to clarify the structure, Bean is captain for Shift 1, Opal as the 1st lieutenant. The 2nd position open, you, Erin, and Maxwell would be sergeants.
Yes. Okay.
So you would be going to sergeant, Maxwell sergeant, Peach would be going to senior, Jeb would be going to senior.
Support role activated.
Express interest in demoting herself. I'm sure you know why we need to have a good old discussion after my mention of PD restructure.
Wait.
Oh.
I need to do something. Be right back. Wait.
Shit.
I got to dress as Lenny Hawk.
I damn near spit out my coffee. Lenny?
Hey.
Hey. Jeb.
Okay, now I'm ready.
Can you just face that?
I like it where it is.
Okay, all right.
I like the tea kettle there where it is.
It's just, you know, the moonlight coming through the window. It's just, I'm just, hey. He picks it up and moves it. So is that loaded?
I don't know. It's your coffee thing.
So, you know, we've discussed, you know, the idea of restructuring the PD to the traditional, you know, one captain per shift. And I don't think this should be a surprise to you, Jeb. Considering you said that's a good song. Yep. Pumped Up Kicks. Uh-huh. Not a bad song at all. You know, I'm just gonna grab a drink. I'm just gonna grab a cold drink.
Okay.
A cold drink. I'll be right back.
Okay. Where is it? Where's the instrumental pumped up kick someone gave me?
What's happening, Rhodes? What do you mean?
Okay, don't say this out loud, but I might be telling him he's going to be demoted in the near future, and he's now dressed as Lenny Hawk, and he's been putting his class 2 on the table facing me.
Oh my God, no! He's just trying to intimidate you. He'd never do anything, right? He's crazy like Oxby.
Listen. I'm about to go back onto the couch, but just know if anything happens, it was Jeb.
Not the couch. Okay. Hey, firm understood, Chief. Got
Thank
your
you.
back.
Okay, bye.
All right, bye.
All right. So, Jeb, you know, we had that conversation in the chief's office where we talked about going back to a single captain per shift, also including shift 3. And I think I'm paraphrasing here, but you said something like, as the first person on the chopping block, I agree.
Oh, I did say that. I remember now.
Yeah, you did. You did. Jeb, I am having this conversation with you before any announcement goes out to let you know that you will be demoted.
Oh, sorry, what was that, Chief? I was playing my guitar.
Yeah, no. I understand. I understand. Jeb, you're being demoted. To
What?
Senior.
What?
What do you mean, what?
What? I'm being demoted?
Okay. Not like demoted because you did anything wrong. Demoted because logistically, if I have to move so many people down because there's only so many spots at the top, I mean, even you said it. You said it. You were first on the chopping block. And if Carmine was still a captain, it would have been him first, you second.
Well, when I said that, I was being facetious and disrespectful towards you.
Please don't say that. You're going to prove Ruby right.
No. My response to this demotion...
Put that away. Please put that away.
My response to this demotion is, here's my heavy rifle. I don't think seniors are authorized to have them.
Oh my... Well... How about this? You put this into your locker for your weapon registry. You know, I'm just saying, there could be a day in which you're in high command again.
That is true, actually. That is true. There could be a day.
So, Jeb, when you're dressed the way you're dressed, singing and pumped up kicks, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Better run, outrun my gun. The vibe is not. The vibe's not vibing.
Oh, don't worry. No, don't worry about that. If I was gonna do that, I would use the M4 with all the drum mags in my locker. Less reloading.
Is it Jab? That's terrible.
What? I already have it prepared. I prepared that when I prepared this outfit.
Is it bad that like it was a thought that went through my mind?
You think I would shoot the place up, or you think I would shoot you?
No.
If I was gonna go out with a bang, the bang would be really big, like at the PD meeting or something, or at the next funeral.
Okay, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Yeah, all is good. All is good. Hey, question: do you know where we can get some bomb sniffing dogs? Can you ask around?
I have to go.
Okay.
I acknowledge the demotion, though. I acknowledge the demotion.
Jeb, you gotta go?
Yeah, I've got to get something out of my locker.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm sort of jumping the gun on this, but I just wanted to know, hypothetically...
God, what is happening right now?
Keep this between us.
Oh, of course I'm so good at keeping a secret.
There is going to be a LSPD restructure. Starting at the very top. And this isn't going to be a final decision from me, but I think it's been heavily implied by most that you should be a sergeant in Shift 1. And so I want to know from you whether or not that's something that you would even entertain.
It actually is a conversation I had with Bean, I think like 2 or 3 days ago, maybe 4, where he approached me probably about a month or a month and a half ago, probably when he was like first becoming the Shift 1 captain. He was gauging my interest for sergeant, and I just thought, like, I was basically just doubting myself, because if I want to be a sergeant, I want to be a sergeant that is, I don't want to be like a paperwork sergeant or a patrol sergeant. I want to be both. And I don't think I was confident with my ability to, be able to sign a subpoena. Like, that was my biggest worry. Mm-hmm. But I've written so many, and then I kind of just got over it. Like, obviously, I talked with Miller. I talked with, Key and Ruby from Shift 2. I even talked to Davenport. And Davenport even said he thought I would be a good sergeant. And honestly, that meant the world to me, because it's from Davenport. And, like, I know he meant that.
I hope you realize why everyone... I'm not kidding. Anytime I've thrown up your name... Because again, some of the changes are going to be fairly drastic. Anytime I've thrown out your name, it has been overwhelmingly, like, absolutely, Brandi would be a phenomenal fit. And it's specifically because of how you have dealt with everything. Like, you don't harp over shit. Like, if something doesn't go your way or the way that you thought it would, you learn from whatever it was that happened, you pivot and you move forward.
I think it's something definitely I'm interested in. When I first approached Bean a couple days ago, I was just saying, like, if Shift 1 still needs one, because I know when he first brought it up, he was looking for one. And that's when Nikki got promoted, I think. I said, if you guys need one, I'm here. I think it's something I'm ready for, but, like, I'm literally in no rush. Like, I live my life day to day.
So I want to talk to you about, I've heard a little bit about a restructure. I just don't know anything about it, and I don't really want to play the game of telephone at all. And I kind of want to ask, what is the vision for the restructure, and is there anything that I'm doing or not doing that doesn't fit that vision, and what are your plans for me specifically? Because I don't really like the guessing and doom spiraling that seems to be happening. Yeah.
Obviously, LSPD, as it currently stands, is quite top-heavy. In a sort of informal meeting that happened that was just like a sort of like random gathering, it was never actually expected to have that many people. Actually, I believe this was during your LOA. I had inquired as to whether or not we should go back to the traditional structure of 1 captain per shift, no commander, so it'd just be chief, as chief, 3 captains, 1 for each shift, and likely this wasn't actually fully discussed in detail. That was the primary thing, and most people agreed. Obviously, a lot of what happened with our roster was as a result of pred, with just throwing people in positions, which is understandable. However, I don't think it has like contributed to this like phenomenal, I don't want to say vision. I just don't think that the outcome of that has been what we wanted it to be. I think in general, standards have slipped, but not due to the fault of any one specific person. From that, I think in general, across all departments, we need to have sort of an increase in standards. I think a lot of people have just become
2 very different
very
things.
Complacent.
That's fine.
So that said, there's obviously going to be a lot of shifting in command, high command, because we are going from, take into account Carmine used to even be on the high command roster. The amount of people that we essentially have to move down to accommodate that is going to be pretty drastic. I don't want anyone to feel slighted by this. Some of these are going to not be able to be explained with, very specific circumstances, because the reality is we are moving people around. We are trying to give new people opportunities. Obviously, again, it's not going to sit well with a lot of people, but I will tell you what I have. And right now, where people would end up as it stands, I intend on making Viv the Assistant Chief of Police. I've spoken with all three of the proposed captains, that being Bean for Shift 1, Key for Shift 2, and Davenport for Shift 3. You would not be a captain, but again, this is for the purpose of shifting people around, providing others new opportunity. It has no bearing on what you have done. If there are any shortcomings from you, and you would be the Shift 2 lieutenant, you would end up being lieutenant. Gravy would be sergeant, Moss would be sergeant, but obviously after what you just said, that wouldn't be the case. Deke, Ruby, and Crystal would be sergeants. Again, open spot, but sort of free-for-all. I say free-for-all, but like someone who's relatively newer, like Deke, for example, I would say probably not, just for the general idea that while he has been command for a little bit of time, probably at minimum needs more before being considered. And I likely see that position going to Ruby.
That's a lot.
So you would be going to lieutenant, Ruby sergeant, Crystal sergeant. That resolves Shift 2. And then for Shift 3, there isn't too much change. Davenport gets pushed up to captain. Maple stays lieutenant. And that's the generalized, there wouldn't be a secondary lieutenant for Shift 3, just because of size. And I know this is difficult, and it's easy for me to say because it's not happening to me. I'm really hoping people understand the general idea of this isn't a demotion or lack of merit or doing something wrong. It is for the purpose of shaking things up and providing people, new opportunities. Just because our high command has been, I'm not going to say stale, but it has been the same for quite some time.
I do have a question overall. Just
ask away.
The thing that I am, I guess a bit concerned about overall. I don't really give a the rank. I'll do whatever I can to help the PD in any position that you guys see fit. Obviously, you're the chief. I'm going to be following that. We kind of do that a lot. The biggest thing that I have a concern about is what is the vision of it, because as it is right now, those are 3 outstanding officers and outstanding field leaders. Captains usually are not field leaders in my experience. Maybe that's just my military background speaking a bit. But usually your lieutenants are the ones running the day-to-day stuff, and your captains are the one doing the administrative work, doing the meetings, doing the meeting with the mayor or meeting with whoever it may be, getting the resources to enable their people to be successful. I don't know if that's still the vision. Is it the vision, or what capacity do you see a lieutenant and a captain having?
It's sort of reversed. Captains in all of the shifts have essentially taken on that role of being someone who is around daily. But my hope is that the experienced lieutenants, Opal, obviously not, she's been in command for a bit, but, obviously she'd be bumped up from sergeant. My hope is that lieutenants essentially act as like a proper sort of chain of command filter for the captains to deal with the stuff before they end up hitting the captains, unless captains are absolutely required.
I don't get that.
Again, there's no issue with lieutenants, realistically anyone leading scenes. But I think if they are led by individuals at the very top, there will hopefully be sort of less second guessing of calls being made out on the field, and will people just listen. Again, same exact thing can be done by lieutenants, but again, hoping that people utilize lieutenants in a proper chain of command.
They won't.
Especially given most, I say most, but realistically, when the secondary role does get filled, most will likely have some form of high command experience.
Okay, I guess
hopefully that makes sense.
It does and it doesn't. And what I mean is, it feels like to me then command and high command is very blended and kind of does the same thing, unless I'm misunderstanding. It seems like there isn't really that much of a separation of the rank of lieutenant and captain, other than the captain has final word on things, and that realistically lieutenant should be handling things, yes, but really the captain is doing the same thing division of responsibilities wise. Am I misunderstanding kind of the approach you're going for there?
Not necessarily, no. We are going to be having conversations regarding responsibilities for sergeants, lieutenants, captains. Those will be more fleshed out prior to all of this being announced. That way, again, everyone who's being moved is aware of what's expected. I only spoke with Viv. I'm not kidding, like right before the storm. So I want to flesh out a few more details prior to that. That is where I stand regarding most things.
How are you feeling about all this so far in the conversations you've had? Are you doing all right? Are you ready for a potential fallout from this?
I have certain things in place. I am going to be speaking with Frost regarding a transfer freeze for minimum couple weeks, just so that people can test the waters prior to determining if they want to jump ship. If they want to jump ship, I've always been of the mindset that I'm never going to prevent anyone from doing so. No one is going to feel or be happy. I can't imagine you're happy, though I do appreciate the understand, it's not personal, and it very much so is just, ultimately just continue doing the job, and we'll see where it goes from there. I'm not opposed to reevaluating if things don't look like they're pathing in the right direction.
But that's okay.
But I want to give it an opportunity.
Understand that. I'm not even. Let me clarify something too, a little bit, at least from my perspective, if you're open to hearing it. It's not even that I'm unhappy with getting demoted. I don't really care about the rank at all. The thing that I've always asked for, and I have never gotten, and I've always asked Ruby, and I've been trying to. I mean, we're literally standing in the warehouse. The things that I've been trying to get is feedback of what is the vision. I've been a captain for a couple extra months over Bean. I haven't been a captain too long, and I've never really been given a great direction. To be frank, it's never been very clear. No matter what ends up happening, the biggest thing that I would ask for, so that I can help Key to succeed and help the department to succeed, because I'm going to be serving him, and trying to serve you through him, is just clarity on what you want. And I know that's something that you're going to be talking with Viv about as far as the overall vision, but a clear, succinct vision of we need to be pushing X, Y, or Z, and then giving us the tools to do so.
Straight up, I'll tell you, competency. Yeah. We cannot have people mess up RSPC. That is like,
give us P&T back. That went to shit when it got appointed over us with all the stuff in the hand check stuff, because it was fine beforehand. It maybe wasn't great in shift 1, but in shift 2 it was fine, and it got and it murdered our morale.
About the Peach related stuff, or
it's not even Peach specific. The head of P&T that has to approve everything and slow it down. That was the single biggest mistake that has happened, and I'm not trying to shit talk, but that was a misstep for that shift. It fucked up the dynamics of the shift very badly.
Got it.
And that's where, if you want the competency, you had competent officers training. Now all of a sudden their voice doesn't matter. They stop showing up.
You're not wrong. Ideally, what I would want to see is determining how the next round of cadets plays out with just Froyo without Peach's involvement, and Aaron in shift 1.
I can tell you, I'm very involved with P&T. I did 2 PPO evals a couple days ago.
How's it going?
Generally speaking, the people that were shift 2 had question marks on that were appointed are the ones that are struggling. Those are the ones that were like, hey, they're not showing up. It's hard for me because we get a lot of feedback through telephone or people being pissed, and I don't really understand why. I don't know that anything is going to change. Is kind of really my point. I don't think we don't have it in the tank right now. If we did, honestly, I can't say that for sure. 3 or 4 months ago, before a lot of people kind of were pissed about the P&D stuff, there were people that were developing that could have potentially stepped up and been command for a few months and then moved up, but they kind of stopped coming around. Maybe, but I don't really understand. So I guess I'm curious, why drop Ruby down instead of me? And I know that's like a big thing to say and kind of even puts myself in the crosshairs there, but I don't really get it, if that makes sense. Especially with Key as a captain, you would think that you would want someone with more experience, because my high command experience is I wasn't really given direction. So I did the best I could, but the only direction I got was Ruby giving the direction of do whatever you want, and then Ruby like, well, let's get these certs working. That was kind of it. Does that make sense? Like
I get what you're saying. Unfortunately,
the most effective.
There isn't exactly a solid answer, and I know that sounds terrible, but honestly, again, it might sound terrible, but even given the prior knowledge of realistically, there's only 3, that being you, Ruby, and Key. In me deciding to go with Key, I'm not kidding. I had pre-filled lieutenants. I then spoke with Viv. And that's where we decided to just keep one of the lieutenant positions available, primarily for, again, people seeing that as an opportunity to either get back into said position. Again, if it were up to me, I'd have those lieutenant spots filled day one, but I also don't want this to just be a me thing when I also invited Viv to,
I think it's more so Viv just wants one lieutenant then.
So her proposal was
I don't think it's
preemptively pick one, leave the other open. So honestly,
still says why
if I'm
me
being 1,000% honest
over
with
Ruby,
you,
but
it realistically could have been Ruby. It just ended up being you. Certain things that I may not see eye to eye with regarding Ruby, but that's not what played a role here at all. Because again, the moment I decided Key for captain, immediately there was no question as to who's going to be the 2 lieutenants. It was immediately you and Ruby, right?
I get that.
But like, I fucking despise that we even have to do this, but it realistically is for the purpose of keeping it consistent among shift 1 and 2. The only reason it's not consistent amongst 3 is because we're not going for a second lieutenant in 3. I just hope most people have the same mentality as you, where ultimately it doesn't matter what their rank is. A lot of people fail to realize that while rank is a very formal thing, people who have had certain ranks in the past still have their voice, they still have the experience, and they will still be respected by other individuals regardless of their current rank. So those people may still potentially be most people, the points of contact.
He just wants competency. That's what we're going to go with off this chat.
People should be following chain of command, but if someone has a simple question that, takes 30 seconds to answer, I don't expect them to be shooed away to senior, because while follow
I still don't agree with most of it, but at the same time,
you can resolve the situation right there and then by providing
we can
whatever
get there,
answer it is,
and it's still better than when we were.
You might as well do that.
Yeah, I don't really mind whatever you decide, no matter what. I'm always going to have your back. I think I've said that before. The biggest thing for me, and what I would encourage you on from my humble position, regardless of what it may be, you're the chief, sir. Whatever decision you make, people are going to follow. And the best decision you can make is a decisive one. One that's said quickly, confidently, without any apprehension, even if it's a dog shit decision. One of the things that I was taught was that the wrong answer said with confidence is better than the correct answer said with hesitation or some amount of, half-assuredness. If you're going to do it, just fucking do it, too. If you're good to go, I think that's where people are going to be the most responsive. I know you're trying to get everything lined up, too.
I just don't want anyone to feel slighted.
Just do it.
Because that would...
Just pull the trigger, man. I'm telling you right now.
No. I'm going to pull the trigger.
Do it.
But I
Fuck
don't
it.
want... No. I can't. I can't...
You have to.
Having been on the receiving end of finding out, I think what hurts me the most is I saw what happened, and obviously it was a little different to both Sky and Lucas, where Frost came in and blank slate, they found out because of their rank on the MDT. Like,
that's not the way to do it. Yeah.
I don't want someone to find out they've been demoted. Again, I say demoted, but not because of anything that they've done, but just because there are, limitations as to how many high command positions we have, right?
Yes. Have you heard the phrase, though, that only a dead man tells no tales? I feel like over time, no matter what, people. I mean, like I've heard murmurings about it, and that's why I approached you. You know what I mean? I feel like I know you want to talk with everybody, but I've already been under the impression that I am likely getting demoted all the way down to sergeant.
Which is why I've told people, please don't speak with anyone else, because I would rather it come from me. I don't necessarily like that it's coming from others, but
I think just hearing the murmurings of restructure is enough for people to doom spiral, sir. That's my point, and I think that's already out. I think the cat's already out of the bag on that one. That's where I'm saying I know you're trying to have these conversations, but I think that tea's already been spilled. And I don't know from where. I think just the idea of restructure and anybody hearing that, no matter what, they're going to make assumptions.
So I had honestly just 2 questions for you. I wanted to ask you, one, was the captain position for shift 3 something that I was considered for? And 2, regardless of if I was or if I wasn't, how or what things do you think I could work on to improve myself to potentially fit into a role like that in the future?
There isn't anything you really could have done differently. This was more just for sort of switching things around. I know a lot of people are going to have... I just want to make sure I'm not I did explain what we were doing with everything, right? Okay.
Yes.
So there's not a lot of I don't want to say logic in the justification, as much as it was just putting different people in said positions, truly with the exception of Dean ? And that kind of just stemmed from the fact that there were so many captains in the shift. To remove all of them and then put someone entirely different seemed odd. But realistically, the shift 3 captain position was only between you and Davenport. And again, we were just doing... I know I'm going to have this question from a lot of people. This is how the cards landed, essentially. Is there anything you can do better? Realistically, no. Again, it's sort of just the nature of the restructure, if you will.
Okay, that's fine. Like I said, I'm always trying to improve and whatnot, so I wanted to know if there was any sort of things that I need to or could adjust or improve on that would help make me feel more suited for that position.
Nope. I listen. I know it sounds shallow, but no. The answer is quite literally no. Continue doing what you're doing. This isn't a. Again, I'm going to have this conversation with quite a few people who are technically demoted. I say technically demoted because they're being lowered in rank, but it's not due to a lack of doing anything as much as it is in the restructure. If we're removing ranks at the top, obviously those same people have to fall within the ranks beneath them, which is incredibly difficult when we have 2-3 captains in a shift and a commander, and we are being firm on 1 captain per shift.
That makes complete sense. And like I said before when we spoke, regardless of my position, I'm still going to want to be around or anything like that. It's just something for me that I was curious about, want to know if I have things to adjust, things to improve on, anything like that, because I'm just always looking to try and do my best, right? So
no, if there
I'm not,
was
upset about anything or anything like that, I'm just wanting to make sure that, I'm trying to accomplish the best that I can be, essentially, right? It's reassuring that, we're not doing anything wrong. We're just not his pick for it. And, at the end of the day, that's fine.
How you doing?
Doing good.
Okay, there's a lot to talk about. I've had, unfortunately, very little overlap with you as of recent. And there are quite a few changes. I can try to explain them to the best of my ability.
Do we act like we know the changes or not?
Hold on, let me pull up my report. Maxwell, I want to preface this by saying, oh gosh, I'm going to sound like a politician. Ugh, I hate that. You've been, I hate it. I'm going to do the whole, you've been amazing, blah, blah, blah. I can't do that. Listen, I'm going to be honest, Maxwell. PD High Command restructure is happening. Okay. I'm not going to hit you with the politician. You've been phenomenal and whatnot, because while that is true, changes are obviously still happening. I know this is going to sound very shallow of me, given that obviously you are interim and were previously captain, but we are reducing the ranks down to chief, as chief, 1 captain for each shift, including shift 3. In those captain positions, for shift 1, going to Bean, shift 2, Key, and shift 3, Davenport. And then for as chief, I am going with Viv. Again, this is not a personal dig towards you. You actually, I'm not kidding when I say this. And again, it gave me the ick with starting the conversation the prior way. But that is currently where we stand. In terms of lieutenants, the way Viv and I had discussed how we're going to do that is we are preemptively picking one of the 2 and leaving the secondary position open, except for shift 3 because they're only having 1. So shift 3 will be the lieutenant of Maple. For shift 2, it would be Oxby. And for shift 1, Opal. And that second one being open for people to express interest if it's something that they want to go towards and actually, put effort into. As it currently stands, this isn't you might fall down further, and I don't like that it's labeled demotions, but obviously with the amount of high command we've had, people are dropping in rank. You would be at the position of sergeant, which would be consistent with King as well. Aaron, am I missing someone? Hopefully I'm not. I have had conversations with others regarding this general structure. I have explained the entire structure to them, not just one specific thing. And my ask to them was that they did not speak to others regarding it because I wanted it to come from me and not other people. I didn't want them to find out through the grapevine,
Should
even
we
though
tell
it sounds
him?
as though that has been happening. And again, I can't stress this enough. It's not a personal dig towards you.
Right, right.
As I've said before, you have actually been great. And I'm sorry that you had to consistently be the person putting out fire after fire after fire. I don't know if you want to continue in command. Obviously, that'll very much so be your choice. With it being a logistical nightmare, moving as many people as we had to from high command to command and lower, it's kind of where everything landed. So if you have questions, feel free to ask. Yeah.
Well, you're not wrong. I think I've probably heard more from officers in the last 2.5 weeks than anybody.
That
about
really bothers
changes. Me. I was told basically who was being demoted. Viv was going to be ass chief. I was pretty much told everything, but really
How long ago did you hear that? Because for context, I'm not kidding. I spoke to Viv like 2-3 days ago.
Okay, so I know her name was mentioned at least a week and a half ago.
Got it.
She was one of the contenders. I don't know who the other one was, but I was told potentially Viv. I didn't write down who the other one was. I've actually tried to take notes because of so many people that have approached me and said things, and I'm going to be real. Like I don't really care like how the restructure is going to happen. I care about how it happens. And I just feel like as the ass chief, I should have been told prior to most of everybody else being told. And the fact that you did it from the ground up is kind of disrespectful to me, that I'm hearing from officers in my shift and lieutenants in shift 2 and just everybody else, like what the changes are. And I'm just the pawn that was placed here to show stability. Yet now, I'm not even afforded that, like the respect, like zero. I just feel so disrespected right now, Rhodes. And I don't think you meant to do that, but it definitely happened.
Obviously, you have every right to feel that way. I'm not going to tell you how you should feel. What I can say is that when there are so many sort of moving pieces in this puzzle, I'm not kidding. The moment I saw anyone available and could entertain the conversation, I did. This wasn't I'm withholding this from Maxwell's situation. Unfortunately, there just hasn't been all that much overlap, which is unfortunate. There has been some, but unfortunately, I was typically tied up in other conversations during those times. I'm not kidding. I've spoken, for example, with Oxby and not Ruby, because unfortunately I wasn't able to speak to Ruby. Pretty much anyone who's involved in any way, shape, or form, whether that mean their ranks going up or down, I'm speaking to them at the first opportunity. I'm telling them exactly pretty much what I'm telling you now regarding the structure of each shift, how it is going to be moving forward. So this wasn't I kept you in the dark the longest intentionally. If I could have had that conversation with you before, I would have. It truly just came down to speaking to people who were available around at that time and trying to figure out if they, again, in some of these positions, if they wanted said positions, because the last thing I want to do is put people in positions that they don't want.
Yeah, I get that. I just, like, you could have texted me, or, I mean, I'm around every day. I read my texts every day. I would have come around earlier. I am a very flexible person. I have been. I work almost 13 hours a day most days. So I could have been here, is my point. As interim ass chief, I wasn't given a directive. You just said, hold it down. And I did. So I kind of want to know from you, like, the reason, not just you were great. What ultimately changed? Because I will say that I've absolutely noticed a shift. Since Pred's been gone, which is, fine. I would like to know, like, what the actual issue is, because I feel like I should be afforded that.
This truly just is coming down to pretty much going for change. There will be more of a directive towards pushing for competency within the PD. Obviously, we have some very talented people, but we definitely lack in certain areas that we need to push. So, like, for example, you not being chosen as assistant chief of police, unfortunately, it truly just came down to, or even captain, it just came down to a numbers issue. If you take into account the amount of people who were in high command that had to be pushed down with the removal of commander and multiple captain positions, there aren't like specific actionable things that I can point to, because again, the overarching thing of just wanting change and for other people to be able to prove themselves is what we're primarily going for. And if things don't work out with said individuals, obviously they'll be, demoted and we'll go from there and we'll evaluate. But
I can work with anybody. I have no issue. That because I'm not here for me. I put everybody before me. That's just how I operate. But that being said, I have done that for probably 2 years now, Rhodes. And I think that I'm going to try to put me first for a little bit. And so I think that my sergeant position should be given to somebody who's been here for a long time that hasn't had a chance.
Opal is going from sergeant to lieutenant. There's that secondary lieutenant position being open. Nikki expressed interest in stepping down from sergeant, which opens up another sergeant position, and we intend on promoting Brandi. So
good.
I
Good
hope
for Brandi.
I agree. Brandi's done a phenomenal job.
She is. She's really
opened
up.
I'm going to be honest. I think a lot of people who have previously been in high command and have been a part of this consistent sort of firefighting, again, much like you, having to put out a lot of fires, and I very much so appreciate you for having done that. Will also, in some capacity, and I know this firsthand because it's happened to me, also enjoyed the sort of decrease in responsibility, even if on a temporary basis, to sort of regather and sort of be able to do things on your own without having to address everyone else's problems. Obviously, we've had this conversation. I think it was the day that we were discussing it, or where you had mentioned, like, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter whether or not you are just an officer. There's a few things to consider. Number one, people who've worked alongside you are always still going to have that level of respect for you. You very much so still have your voice, your experience. None of that goes away. And again, this wasn't intended to be a personal dig. It was never, I didn't want you to be at the tail end of the list of people I've spoken to. It just happened to be that way. Again, you deserve to feel however it is you feel. I can't change that. I just want to provide at least some context behind why it ended up working out that way. At the end of the day, we'll still be working alongside each other. I will always have your back. I don't want you to worry about this court case. LSPD is obviously going to cover whatever the happens. So I don't want that being like this, cloudy thing over you that's just like weighing you down. Don't want you to worry about that in the slightest. Obviously, we'll take care of everything. If you have any questions for me regarding anything Maxwell, I genuinely mean this. Feel free to ask. I'm an open book. And I genuinely mean that. Ask me a question. If I have an answer, I'll give it to you. If I don't, I will try to get the answer and provide it to you as quickly as I can.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I have no issue asking questions at all. I'm probably one person that always asks questions. So,
which, by the way, is the reason or the same mentality of why Brandi is being pushed up. I want to make this very clear, by the way, with that secondary lieutenant position. If it is something you are interested in, once all of these changes go through, definitely, express interest, because some people do want to take this opportunity as a sort of like cool down, if you will, from their burnout of having to deal with all the firefighting. But if you certainly want that position, Maxwell, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you are not capable, because you most certainly are.
Well, I appreciate that, and I absolutely know I am. I think that I need to take time to figure out what I want to do.
Fair enough.
I do know that I want to probably work in the RP unit a little bit. I enjoy that, being out in the community. And one thing with high command is you're in meetings a lot, which kind of
you get pulled away from a lot. Yep.
I enjoy being a face of the PD. It's something I've always enjoyed. That's why I've even though this afternoon didn't show that I have great rapport, I do. Like, I was kidnapped and then my car was oceaned up, then my house was set on fire. But all I said was, that's it. I mean, and it happened. So, but at the end of the day, and I was invited to lunch as somebody's trap queen today. So, I love mingling with people. And I think I'll have more time to do that. So I'm pretty excited for that, to be honest. But at the end of the day, my ducklings, as we'll call them, I feel like deserve a chance to step up and kind of show their worth. And I hope that maybe they'll push for that.
Yeah. I appreciate you, Maxwell. Genuinely, I mean that. And like I said, you need anything, you let me know. Obviously, in Sergeant, you are still command.
What?
I wouldn't be surprised if you still end up being a bunch of people's point of contact regarding
what
stuff.
What did he just say? Y'all, didn't he?
But yeah, so just to clarify, Ruby would be of the same rank to you.
Yeah,
not that
I'm
I
good.
anticipate there being any issues amongst y'all, but I guess I just figured I'd let
Ruby?
you know.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have any issues with Ruby like that. I come to work and work. That's it. She needs something, she comes to me. If I need something, I go to her. I even helped take out cadets the other day because they didn't have somebody to take them out. I have no issue with doing things. But I'm going to be honest, Rhodes. I think I really don't think I want to be sergeant. I think that everybody is so used to calling me for this is why I'm the one in court all the time. Like, I don't mind being that person, but I think that I am everybody's person to call. And I love that. I really do. But I think they're so dependent that if I remain command right now, they're going to keep coming to me and not allow the new people to do their job. One thing that I always try to do as captain was allow my sergeants to promote their seniors, allow my lieutenant to promote their sergeants. I want them to do their job. And I empower people to do their job because I never liked being micromanaged when I was a senior, a sergeant, or a lieutenant.
Obviously, this would be your choice. We can set you as a senior with full intent on bumping you back up to sergeant, say, a month after, if that's the route you want to go, because then rank-wise, they would have no other choice but to contact the current sergeants, if that makes sense. Something to just consider. Doesn't mean that we have to go down that route. I would love you in command, but I do agree with you. I do think people are just going to default to their norms and contact you if you're still in the command position, which obviously gives you the ability to do all the warrant-related stuff. And quite frankly, yes, you still will be, at that point, the person putting out all the fires or, signing all the warrant-related stuff. So if you feel that going the route of senior,
I just don't want to be.
You don't want to pull away by default other people's. I agree.
Brandi's not going to learn if she's not getting contacted to do the stuff, which she's already been like calling me and saying, "Hey, would you sign this? Would you sign that?" And then I review it and then we discuss it. And I know, and I think I will still get calls like that, but I'm not going to be the one that they call directly to sign it. Do you know what I mean?
I agree. I get what you're saying.
And I just until they're used to whatever else.
Is the idea of setting you as a senior on a temporary basis with the expectation of returning, or do you just want to be senior and just sort of let the course run? Because I'm never going to sit there and tell you you are not worthy of command.
What is happening?
Because that would be a very poor decision.
No, I don't think you think that, Rhodes. I really don't. I just think, again, I usually put everybody before me and what they need, but I think,
to put yourself first.
Yeah. So I kind of want to focus on what my next path is, which is why I think just being an officer, because even as a senior, I have to deal with the putting out fires, between, look at this senior report. Oh my God, so-and-so did this, recommend DAPs for that. Like, it's still a command rank.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I just kind of want to figure out what my path is going to be.
Understandable. So right now, where in the structure would you like to fall? Not fall. Oh my God, that sounded terrible. Holy, the wording was atrocious.
To the bottom, Rhodes. Fuck.
Girl, you're trying to be a cadet.
I mean,
so you just to clarify, full officer.
Just full officer, and then I would like to be able to work the RP unit, obviously. There is a SOPs for that already in place, and hopefully High Command allows that to remain. If not, then obviously I'll do something different. We're free! Yeah! This is Officer Maxwell calling.
What the f you just say to me?
Officer.
What?
Johnson,
Yep.
don't worry about it. I can leave triage.
He just
there's not already.
demoted you to officer right then and there.
Well, he
Thanks, Fluff.
offered sergeant.
What?
He was gonna offer
Sergeant!
lieutenant, but Viv wanted me to be sergeant. So I was like, yeah, I'm good. So I'm an officer.
What the f?
Yeah. It's Opal. It's fine. It's not that big of a deal. But I told him I don't think it's fair because people are still gonna come to me and as a sergeant and expect me to kind of
be lieutenant.
be the captain that they're used to going to. And I think the only way to get away from it is to like completely. He was like, "What about senior?" And come down to
I mean, Opal literally said this to
senior and
Rhodes.
come down
Rhodes
to,
was like, "We'll
come
offer
back
a
to
lieutenant. She's not gonna
sergeant
want
or
it."
lieutenant,
Maxwell's already
within a
said
month."
this.
And I just said, "Yeah, I don't know if I want to do that."
Hello,
What up,
Chief?
What up, Johnson?
How we doing?
Good. I just wanted to tell you something before you find out, like other people, because I like to talk to you guys. I was demoted today.
Boy, I'm about to leave. I ain't gonna even lie. I'm about to go and leave. Hey, this shit. Bro, what?
I was offered a command position for the record, but I declined because everybody will still come to me and I'll still be doing everything. And I want to give a chance to other people that are going to move up to actually get that chance, to do the job. So I wanted you to know for me, because I don't want you to when the new Ash Chief's announced, you're like, what about Maxwell?
Oh, wait, so who the fuck demoted you? I'm confused.
Rhodes did.
Who?
The chief.
Where has he? I haven't seen. How can you demote somebody you ain't? See, this is what I be talking about.
What's up?
I tried calling you 2D. I just want to let you guys know before anybody else tells you that I was demoted today. So.
What do you mean? What do you mean? To what?
I was demoted to sergeant with the opportunity to move to lieutenant. However, I declined and asked to be an officer because I don't think it's fair to be in a position that I want to see you guys
I went to it. I don't know who it's between.
You know what I'm talking about?
You've been working really hard, and I honestly think you should be given a shot as sergeant. And I hope that you're offered that.
Respectfully, Maxwell, I appreciate that. They ain't gonna offer me shit. I'm me, right? It is what it is. You are literally the reason I'm here right now. Like, you are the lifeblood of Shift 1. Like, genuinely, I'm not just saying that to blow smoke at your ass. Like, genuinely, there was a period of time where you were literally carrying Shift 1 on your back. Like, what the f***? What? So who's gonna be ass chief? Oh God.
I'm ass kissing, brown nosing mother that don't do shit. That ain't gonna be here like the chief ain't, and she gonna fall apart again. This is what I'm talking about. Well, why anybody showing around? Why the morale so low? Look what you doing. Look what the you doing.
You know what I will say though? Selfishly, at least that means you might be able to actually ride with you now, because everyone should leave you the fuck alone. So we can actually ride together, Maxwell. Actually, it's shit, but maybe I can. Hold on a second. I ain't rank you right. What? That's so dumb.
They gonna still come to you for shit.
That's so stupid.
That's so stupid. It's so stupid. Like, I don't understand. I genuinely don't.
I mean, I'm not prying, so don't say if you don't want to know. I know you wouldn't anyway. But was there a reason given, like, that you can share, or?
Well, I'm hot. I am hot. I am so hot. I wish you would have told me this. I don't want to work here. No. I don't want to work here.
I did not listen. I wanted you guys to know because I wanted to know that I'm okay and I will be okay. I just want
I've never
you
done
guys
that.
to be.
Never done that. You're tough as hell no. No man, like, so is it?
God,
so who's
stop
gonna run
making
shift
me
1 then?
sad.
Who's gonna run shift 1 then?
You guys are.
No.
Shit.
No. Yeah, what do you mean?
4 and 2. I will see you.
He's shift 1 is Maxwell's shift. You know what I'm saying? Like that is.
This is Maxwell's PD. Period. Everybody goes up for everything.
Well,
we don't go to the chief. Bro, and since I've read, I ain't seen the chief. Literally, I ain't seen one. I mean, it hasn't like the figurehead is missing. Now you're taking more from us. You're taking more. How can we cripple the PD even more? Come on, let's keep on going.
I think the reasoning, I was a different vision, and they're trying to change that.
Oh God!
Right, they want it more up. They want it more up. It ain't up enough. Let's get more. Let's do it more. Come on, let's pick it up.
For me personally, and I'm just gonna keep a buck 100. There is no one in the PD I trust more than you. Like it's not even. There's literally nobody. Like Opal's kind of there.
Yeah.
But she's a loose cannon, a bit like I am at times, right? So
yeah.
Like Opal's and Opal, like you. I see you as like you got proper mature energy. You know what I'm saying? Like yeah, you can have a laugh and a joke, but if I'm in a wicked situation, I can call up Maxwell and I know she's gonna keep my head straight and help me figure that situation.
Remember, I was offered sergeant, but I just don't think that's fair to me. And usually I think about you guys, and I want you guys to know that taking that position would still be me looking out for you guys and not myself. And I always look out for you guys, and I still will. I expect you guys to still come to me, especially with hard shit that you need help with. And the positive stuff, though, yes, I'll have more time to ride. Yes, I'll have time for TRT because I want that back. So I also do want to focus on the RP unit being the face of the PD. I still think it's very important that when people are coming to town and like meeting the PD, that they're not just judging it off 1 or 2 bad apples, that that we are good and we actually do care about them. And I've always liked that part of things as well. I just haven't had a chance to focus on it. So I want to tell you.
Flight, you can get flying as well, right? I know you was interested in that.
Oh no, she cannot fly. Oh no.
What?
I'm not putting her in one of my
Johnson, you can. Johnson, what the?
Okay.
Sorry,
I'm sorry. You're gonna say that in this month, Johnson? You know what month it is, right?
This is no fly month. That's what it is right now.
It's okay. It's okay because you know what? It's okay. I will.
Just give me the order, Maxwell, and I'll take him out. Just give me the order, Maxwell.